Hi, I am Marion Buricatu, a French-American artist. In less than 5 minutes, I'm going to make you an art expert. Just kidding. Okay, so today I want to tell you about a wonderful day trip that I did recently with my husband and my son. And we went to the Cedar Grove estate, which is the house of Thomas Cole. It's in the Catskills, it's in New York City. It's a National Historic Site and they have easy hiking trail. It's the best family trip with children for this summer. And so today I have again my special guest, my daughter Domiti.
Hi. Why is this house so interesting?
Well, because it's the house of Thomas Cole, and Thomas Cole is the father of the Hudson River Art School, and this is the first American art movement, and it's a big deal, and I'm going to talk more about that in the next video. So here are the 3 facts that I want to talk about today. First, fact number 1 about Thomas Cole, the owner of the house. Fact number 2, it's about falling into neglect. Fact number 3, immersing yourself into American beauty. So here is a painting by Thomas Cole. It's called View Near the Village of Catskills, and it was painted in 1827.
So fact number 1, what's interesting about Thomas Cole?
The owner of the house?
Yes.
Yes. So what's interesting about him is that he was the owner and he's the father of the Hudson River School of Art. Here is a portrait of Thomas Cole by Asher B. Durand, painted in 1838. So he was an English man born in 1801, and he moved to the US when he was 18 years old. He lived in New York City, where he became a painter, and he started by being a portrait painter. But at 24 years old, he discovered the breathtaking beauty of the Catskill wilderness, and then he started painting only landscape and became famous for it. He moved there. He married, he had children, and unfortunately, he died at 48 of pneumonia.
That's not good luck.
No.
So, if he was so famous, why is your second fact that the house fell into neglect?
Well, that's a very good question, Domiti, and
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what happened is that the descendant really took good care of the property until the 1930s.
Okay.
But then with the development of the roads and the highway in the US, they had to build a bridge, and they had to build a road that crossed that went across the estate and cut through the estate. I think that because of that, probably the estate lost some value. But I also believe that Americans started to lose interest into the Hudson River School. Now they were more interested into modern art.
It's interesting that the highways were being built, because I thought it was a long time ago.
Yeah, 1930s.
Yeah.
And so the grandchildren could not preserve the site, and they sold the estate in 1979, where it fell in disrepair. The Greene County Historical Society purchased the property in 1998.
So that's basically 20 years of abandonment.
Yes, and they restored it, and in 2001 it was open to the public.
And that's just in time for his 200th birthday?
Yes. So Thomas Cole was just turning 200, and they opened it to the public. That's so great. I mean, this is such an important American landscape, something so important in the art history of America.
So our last fact, what does comparing the paintings versus the real mean?
So I think when I went to see this beautiful estate, that 2 things really are interesting there. So the first thing is that when you step on the balcony, you can see the view of the Catskills, and next to the view that you see just right in front of you are the picture that he painted 200 years ago, and it's exactly the same. Cool. So that's quite an experience. And the other thing too is that they really did a good job organizing hiking trails. So here you have this little brochure, Hudson River Art Trails, and inside they offer several art trails where you can walk into and be immersed into the beauty of the landscape, exactly as the painters of that time were doing. It's quite a great experience. Some of the hiking trails are easy to go, some are a bit more difficult. Anyway.
Did you go hiking?
No, we didn't do it, but I'm planning to go back. So here are the 3 facts. Easy to remember about this wonderful estate, the Cedar Grove, owned by Thomas Cole. Fact number 1, Thomas Cole, the owner. Fact number 2, falling into neglect. And fact number 3, immersing yourself into American beauty. Now, if you want to have fun with your family, the next video is just for you because I have created 7 fun trivia questions. Also, if you want to learn more about this whole estate, I have put a series of a few very interesting links and they are at the bottom of the video. Okay, so this video is a sequel of a previous video about the Cedar Grove estate in the Catskill Mountain in New York State. But this video is special because I'm giving you 7 awesome trivia questions to have fun with your friends and family at the next dinner. Here is a painting by Thomas Cole. It's called View near the village of Catskill, and it was painted in 1827. And my victim of the day is my daughter, Domiti. Hello. Okay, are you ready for some tough question about the estate?
Yes.
Okay, first question. The Cedar Grove National Historic Site is located in which state? Massachusetts, Connecticut, or New York?
I know it's New York.
Bravo.
Because
we
went there together.
Yeah. Question number 2. Who lived in this house? Thomas Cole, Samuel Morse, or Albert Bierstadt?
Is Samuel Morse the guy who did the Morse code?
Yes.
So it's not him.
No.
It's Thomas Cole.
Bravo. And he was a teacher of Albert Bierstadt, and they all live at the same time.
Thomas Cole was the teacher of
Albert Bierstadt.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I put these tricky questions. So question number 3.
Very tricky.
Question number 3. Thomas Cole is a father of which art movement? Regionalism, Abstract Expressionism, or the Hudson River School?
I think it's the Hudson River School.
Bravo. But the 2 other movements are also American art movement
Yes,
of the 20th century.
But they're later.
Yes,
Yeah.
20th century. Bravo. Okay, Thomas Cole was originally from which country? United States, France, or England?
He was from the US.
No. He grew up in England. And you know what?
Great.
A lot of people believe that he's American, while in fact he moved to the United States when he was 18 years old. Okay, what year was the house bought by the Greene County Historical Society? So listen, 1979, 1998, or 2001?
2001?
So 2001 was the house when it was open to the public.
Okay.
79 was where the house was abandoned.
Yeah.
Bravo. So it was 1998. Okay, question number 6. When you step on the balcony of the estate, what mountains can you see? The Catskills, the Adirondacks, or the Berkshires?
Well, I mean, I know it's in the Catskills, but I feel like it's also in the Adirondacks.
So no, it's the Catskills.
Okay.
But the Catskills, the Adirondacks, and the Berkshire, they all belong to the Appalachians.
Same group. Okay.
Of the Appalachians. Question number 7. How old would Thomas Cole now be? 107 years old, 277 years old, 217 years old.
277?
Yes.
No,
217 years old.
I'm not supposed to be the one correcting you.
I'm sorry. So this is finished for the question. I hope you had fun. Now, if you want to learn more about the Cedar Grove estate, please don't hesitate to look at the link below. Okay, so this video is about the Hudson River School of Art, and this is the first American art movement, and I'm going to talk about that with my daughter, Domiti.
Hi. We're in the 1820s by
Yes.
now. So how is it possible that the Hudson River School was the first U.S. art movement?
Because it's the first art movement that originated in the US. So here are the 3 facts that easy to remember that I'm going to talk about. And the first one, Domiti is going to say it for me because I cannot pronounce it correctly. Fact number 1.
The word is art hierarchy.
Yeah, great.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, I'm not even trying anymore. I tried so many times and failed. Okay, fact number 2, American beauty and audacity. Fact number 3, art training. So here is a painting by Thomas Cole. It's called River in the Catskill, painted in 1843, and it is at the Museum of Fine Arts.
So fact number 1, art hierarchy. What does hierarchy have to do with art in the first place?
Yes, so in the 19th century, the art world in Europe was extremely rigid and conservative, and it established an order.
Okay, so what was at the top of the food chain?
So at the top of the food chain, you had the history paintings, the large history paintings. They were about biblical or mythological subject, or also they were about historical subject. And there was always a moral lesson in these paintings.
Oh, okay.
And these paintings were very important for any painters who wanted to get recognition. You couldn't get recognition without this kind of painting.
Without giving a moral lesson, basically.
Yes. So here's the painting Campagne de France by Ernest Meissonier, painted in 1864. And this painting is at the Orsay Museum in Paris.
And that's obviously Napoleon, so a historical figure.
Yes. So just under the level number 2 are the portrait painting. These are also very important, and this is how painters would get commission, and this is how they would make a living. Number 3, level 3 is the generous painting. These are scenes of everyday life. Then the 2 bottom level, the level 4 and 5, are landscape, which is the Hudson River School paintings that definitely revolutionized the landscape painting. And then at the bottom of the bottom are the still life, which is what I love to paint.
I hate still life. You're at the bottom of the food chain.
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah.
So fact number 2, what does American beauty and audacity have to do with the first movement? I guess Americans always like to be a little different, but...
creative and original. Yes.
Or wrong, but...
Yeah. Okay, so Thomas Cole was the father of the Hudson River School movement. He did 2 things wrong, according to European standards. First, he painted landscape. You know, now you understand why it was wrong. And second, he didn't train in Europe to be an artist.
Okay. So why did he paint landscapes if he knew that it wasn't the right thing to do?
So, very good question. And what happened is that Thomas Cole grew up in England, and he moved to the US when he was 18 years old. And so he witnessed the Industrial Revolution in England, and he witnessed the changes and the changing landscape. And you have to realize that at that time, during the Industrial Revolution, there was no concern for health and environment. And it must have been pretty disturbing to see the landscape changing that way. So then he moved to the US. He becomes a painter, and then he discovers the magnificent views of the Catskills Mountains. They are untouched by man. This is a completely new subject for the American scene that until now was completely dominated by the European paintings.
Okay, so basically it was the first American art movement because they made landscape a good thing and they created a demand for it.
Yes, and he became famous and he was able to live from it. So that's quite a success story. Here's a painting called Catskills Cloth, painted in 1866 by Asher Durand.
So our last fact, what does art training have to do with the first art movement in the United States?
Yeah, another very good question. So there is an indisputable fact, is that at that time, the only way to get a really good art training was in the European academies. So that's where the American artists went to get their training.
So there was no American schools in art at that time?
No, they were starting to get there. You had some academies, but if you really wanted the high-level training, you had to go in Europe.
Okay.
London, Paris, or Rome. So what happened is that the American artists would go back to Europe, and then when they came back to the US, they would paint in the classical European style.
So there's like no differentiation between the continents, even though they have 2 very different cultures.
Yes.
Okay.
So that means that until that time, the Americans didn't have really their artistic style. So, but Thomas Cole, he was self-taught. He created his own style by painting American landscape. Then he went to Europe because then at some point, he really wanted to have this high-level training. He went to Europe to get this training, but he never lost his originality. So here is a painting he made in Europe, and you can see that he painted using the classical techniques of the European paintings. It's called The Consummation of Empire by Thomas Cole, and it was painted in 1836. So here are the 3 facts. Easy to remember about the Hudson River School of Art, the first American art movement. First, fact number 1, hierarchy. Thank you. Fact number 2, American beauty and audacity. And fact number 3, art training. Now, if you want to have fun with your friends and share this knowledge at the next family dinner, the next video is just for you because I have created 7 trivia questions about this subject. Also, if you want to learn more, I have some few links below. This video is the sequel of the previous video about the Hudson River School, the first American art movement. But this video is special because I'm giving you 7 awesome trivia questions to share with your friends and family at the next dinner. So here is a painting by Thomas Cole. It's a river in the Catskill, painted in 1843, and this painting is at the Museum of Fine Art in Boston. So let's get started with my victim of the day, my daughter, Domiti.
Hi.
So question number 1. The Hudson River School painters were still life painters, portrait painters, or landscape painters?
Well, considering we just did an entire video on landscapes, I would say that they are landscape painters.
Bravo, bravo. That means that you listened. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, question number 2. What was at the top of the art hierarchy in the art world? Hierarchy. Did you get it?
That was good.
Oh, great. So, history paintings, landscape paintings, or portrait paintings?
Portrait paintings?
No, that's number 2.
Oh.
At the top was history painting. Good try. Okay, question number 3. What was going on in England at that time? Development of the agricultural-based economy.
Okay.
Social and political upheaval.
Okay.
Industrial revolution.
What year is this again?
1830s.
Okay.
The first half of the 19th century.
I feel like it was political upheaval.
So that's kind of it was a tricky question because the political upheaval really was the French Revolution, and there was some political upheaval also in England, but not as bad as in France.
Right.
Clearly, it was not the development of the agricultural-based economy.
No, with the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. Question number 4. What was so special about American landscapes? So they were filled with beautiful and old villages. They were changed by the Industrial Revolution. They were untouched by men.
They had a lot of small old villages. Because, New York is a very big state, and there's a lot of very small towns.
Yeah, not at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that started later. Yes.
Okay.
So not a lot of small villages. The landscape were not changed yet by the Industrial Revolution. They were untouched by men. Okay, question number 5. Where did American artists go to get their art training? They went to China?
No.
They went to Western Europe? Or they went to Washington, D.C.?
They went to Western Europe.
Bravo. Yes.
Because Europeans know best.
You go, girl. Question number 6. What is the name of the European School of Art? Academies? École de l'Art? College of Art?
École de l'Art?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's academies. And
so the schools were called academies?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the word in English. In French, it was called the École des Beaux-Arts. That's the word in French.
Okay.
École des Beaux-Arts. Okay, question number 7. What qualities did European teachings have? High quality classical techniques, or contemporary impressionist techniques, or liberty of painting subjects?
Well, I know that that was around the time that Impressionism started in France.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for contemporary Impressionist techniques.
Yes, so in fact not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, just before the Impressionist They were very classic, traditional, and conservative, but the training was very high quality. So high quality and classical technique. Well, Domiti, thank you for coming
You're
and
welcome.
answering this question. Please have fun with your friends and family, and also don't hesitate to look at the links that I've put below if you want to learn more. Today, I hired my daughter Domiti and my son Thomas to do a demonstration on how to paint like Jackson Pollock, who was very good at the technique of dripping. And I think it's a perfect project for this summer when your kids are bored and you want to do something with them outside. It's a nice thing to do. Simple, you just buy a cheap canvas. Use your old paint that you haven't been using for years that are, waiting in your garage. You just need this wood stick, and
They're from Home Depot.
yes, thank you. Just mix again your paint, and then look at us. We're ready to do dripping paintings like Jackson Pollock. So what you do is that, are you starting, Domiti?
I don't know how to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna walk in front of you. Okay.
Okay.
So what you do is that this is how you do, and the goal is to dance around the painting, and because you need to see the movement of the arm, and that's what he was doing.
Oops.
Yes, that's okay. You practice,
Ooh, I wanna
and that's
go
why
this way.
also we don't have any shoes. And you walk around as well. Bravo.
Thomas's look really nice.
Some Thomas's look really nice, and you know why? It's because his painting is a high gloss painting, and so that means it's more viscous, while mine is very liquid and I'm struggling to do line. So try to use as much as you can high gloss painting. It has much better
Fais
results.
attention à mes pantalons par contre.
So now I'm going to change color, and I'm going to do
We're going
green.
to need to take a shower for our feet later.
So let's see how this painting works. Look at that. Ooh, I'm making some nice lines. Yep. And we want to see the movement of the arm. So that's why they call that gestural painting.
Ooh, that's a pretty color.
Look at that, we are really doing a modern art painting that I think should be then going at the museum. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. Wow, bravo. Hop. Be careful. You don't want to put any paint on anyone.
And try to get the sides of the painting too.
Yes, yes. Try to not stick to the center, because there is no focal point. So now I'm trying. Okay, oof. Okay. So here it is. Keep going. And
Ooh,
now
I
I
like
have
the
some
white.
white. So we keep turning around. Ah, sorry, Thomas. It's on your. Look at that. This looks really nice. I love it. And then you can choose the color that you want. Wow, the red is great,
Gorgeous,
Thomas.
Yeah.
What a good way to get rid of your old paintings.
Or old
Paint tube, old paint cans.
You can go around me.
And this can last for hours,
trying to make
honestly,
lines.
because the time we fill the whole thing can take a long time.
Tiens, take the other brown again. It's so pretty.
I think my grass is looking beautiful. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You see, you have to have a strong art movement. That's really nice. I love it.
Are we gonna hang it up?
Yes, we're gonna definitely hang it up. This is gonna be our masterpiece. I love the colors. Okay, more green now. So you see what an easily fun thing to do with kids for the summer.
Did you want it? Okay. Brown. Okay. Ooh, frick.
Up. That's why you do that outside. Look at that. Yes, I think we need more black.
This one here, it's extremely liquid if you look on the inside.
Yes.
So it doesn't make lines.
Yes. It's because it's not a high gloss painting.
It's not a high gloss paint.
Paint. It's not a high gloss paint.
I think there's enough red, Thomas. No?
And I think there's enough green too, isn't it?
Okay.
But not
Yeah.
enough black. I think we need more black. I have another pot of black if you want. You're gonna open it? Wow, bravo! I really love it.
Are we done?
Not yet. A little bit more black, do you think?
I think we're good.
If not,
Yeah, take this. Just want to show you.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Yes, that's an empty can of paint.
Maman, I got some on my pants. What do
Okay.
I do? Est-ce que ça va s'enlever ou pas?
Yeah. So here it is.
Nice.
Look at my hands. Do you have a lot of paint on your hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but on my feet.
And I think it's quite necessary to wear aprons to protect your clothes. So here it is. And in like less than 10 minutes, with 3 persons, we did
A masterpiece.
masterpiece of the abstract expressionist art movement inspired by, what was his name again?
Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock. Bye bye. Nice chatting with you. Abonne-toi, which means subscribe to my channel in French. Have fun and see you at the next video. Bye bye.